Hey guys, I'm Tim from the Music Zoo, and we're here today with Frank Falbo of Falbo Guitars, and we're nestled in the Larrivee factory, and we know Frank from Seymour Duncan, so you actually built the 35th anniversary guitars, right?
Yeah, actually we did those here. That was the kind of the impetus of the two entities working together. I mean, that's where I came in and did a lot of the work on those myself, but also had the great guys at the Larrivee factory do a lot of the work as well.
Okay.
It worked out really well.
Cool. And so the newest thing that you're onto right now are these acoustic guitars, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
And you've got 4 models, but I think the main thing that really sets these apart is your in-tension bridge, right? That's
correct. Yeah. I many years ago, actually even predating my time with Seymour Duncan, I had this this idea for a bridge design where I noticed that all glued-on bridges were dealing with this frontally rotating torque, right? This pull on the bridge. And so some people would come up with inventions to kind of counteract it by putting pressure in the other direction, or by shifting it, by moving the string tension somewhere else. And the more I thought about it, I was like, you can, instead of saying like, geez, I got 175 pounds of string tension that I have to deal with, I said, I have 175 pounds of string tension that I can use for something,
sure,
right? So like, why not harness that very same energy to be part of what counteracts the distortions that it would have placed on the top in the traditional arrangement. So where everybody else comes at this from the standpoint of adding more wood and glue to stop the top from ripping up, I just arranged it in such a way that it sort of negates and counteracts its own forward pulling torque with negative torque. So this whole area now is torque neutral, which means that the top can vibrate so much more freely, right, and I'm down to about 30% less bracing, wow, than any traditionally made acoustic.
So that gives you a lot of ability to sort of move bracing and sort of focus in on the sound of the instrument that you're looking for, right?
That's exactly correct.
You're not bound by sort of the functionality of holding the guitar together, right?
Yes, that is so true. There's every luthier's challenge is to try to voice the guitar the way they want to have it voiced, while it having not explode.
Sure,
right?
Absolutely.
And so you have to, it's always a give and take, right? It's like, I wish I could put less bracing in there to make the top more lively, but I can't because I will be dealing with a warranty repair,
right,
situation, exactly, in 3 to 5 years. So I've kind of raised that headroom level where now I'm not really worried about that those damaging effects anymore. So it totally frees me up to voice the guitar how I want it to sound. I have more extended range too. Like I can play around with stuff north of 10 kilohertz. I can get a little more activity way in the upper treble and way down in the deep bass, and still have it be tight and not go for deep bass but end up having it be woofy. I can do all of those things, and technically really I don't even need an X brace, but I use one because that helps the guitar to sound the way we like a guitar to sound.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So some of it is conforming to the way that we like these things to sound from our history, and some of it is sort of leapfrogging ahead to these idealized versions of these guitars where we wish our guitars sounded like this or like that.
Absolutely. So you've got 4 models. You're basically running rosewood, spruce tops, mahogany, yes, necks. I've noted that this has a nice full shoulder to it. It's not, I wouldn't characterize it as a thin neck. It's actually a very comfortable rounded neck. 1 3/4, but I immediately noticed that it felt like 1 11/16. You said that you actually roll the edges in a little bit just, yes, to give it that feel.
Yeah.
So, very traditional sizes and woods to get going, but there are a lot of these little nuances with the bridge, the nut, the asymmetrical neck, all, yes, of that jazz just kind of stuck together. Yes. Electronics inside, right? So what would you say just your overall goal is, just as a line and just tonally, what are you trying to achieve now that you have this?
Yeah, for me, every luthier is different, right? For where I was coming from, I wanted to make guitars that we love and appreciate in the same vein that we love and appreciate our vintage guitars. So the that's why there's still an X brace. It's an 85 degree instead of 90, but there's an X in here. And traditional woods, it's an Italian spruce top and rosewood vacuum size, like you said. But they sound and play like guitars that we like and are familiar with. Instead of coming out of the gate with something that deviates to a great extent. There's some fantastic luthiers making guitars with side sound ports and unique cutaways and all kinds of unique features. And so as a builder, I celebrate that, and there may be some of that in my future. But what I want the Alpha series to do is to go into the hands of people who know what good vintage guitars sound and feel like, and immediately appreciate it. I mean, I had another guitar designer, lifelong guitar designer, within like a couple of chords, he just blurted out, "It sounds like a vintage guitar." Yeah. And that's what happens.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, because you get these vintage guitars that we love that have survived, have, like our best examples, they have the thinnest amount of bracing, a thinner top, but we're lucky enough to have been made with really good wood, so they've survived. A lot of the other vintage instruments haven't survived. They've had numerous repairs on them.
Sure.
But so if I can get there by changing the formula to, basically, like I say, increase the headroom in my voicing capabilities, then that's where I came at it with this. I didn't want to make an instrument that sounded like it was made out of composites, or something that sounded like it was made from alternative materials, or anything like that. These guitars feel like home. They feel like an old pair of blue jeans.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a great starting point, and I just see a lot of possibility on the horizon as you get into it. So thanks for your time today. Again, Frank Falbo, Falbo Guitars. We're going to have him at the Music Zoo. You have to check him out. So come on in.